Can you believe today is the first day officially of fall? Amazing. I want to say happy fall to you all. I know that there's some amazing fall lovers out there. Some of you like to see that color. Some of you like to see the leaves, the color, the changes of the flowers and stuff like that. I love fall. I just don't like cleaning up the leaves. But bring it on, because I like it's not hot, it's not cold, it's just in between. Sometimes I just can't make up my mind when it comes to the weather. But today's 85 degrees. It's feeling absolutely gorgeous out here. The sun is now coming in, but I have a few things that I need to get done. I haven't been out here in a while. The stress of worrying about the construction that is going to be happening to my house, and the roof caving in on my condo, and stuff like that was really really stressful. So I didn't get a chance to come out here and do nothing. So literally I walked through yesterday and I was like, ugh, I need to do some cleaning up. I need to do some stuff. So today what I'm gonna do is just basically walk through and put things back together. We had a couple days of rain, and some of the plants look amazing, and some of them, even some of the plants that I put into the ground, is looking really good. But I gotta clean up some of this stuff. What I'm gonna do is just put things back together and do the walkthrough. I gotta thin out my cabbage plant that I plant. I gotta thin it out a little bit, so I'm gonna remove some and put it in different areas and stuff like that. I want to move some elderberry. I want to plant it in a different area because I just know that this elderberry is going to get wild and crazy. So I want to put it in a different area. There's quite a few things, but as I go along, I'll probably just put the description on the screen, because the more I stop to talk, the more I'm going to kind of slow myself up. So what I'm going to do is just continue to work and let you guys enjoy the music. You're gonna see as I go along how beautiful things look, especially my house plants, y'all. My house plants look so gorgeous, and that's the first area I'm gonna start with and give you guys a beautiful look of this area once I finish putting it back together. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so I just wanted to get started and get it done and over with these house plants, because I know pretty in a couple of weeks I'm probably gonna have to take them in the house. And I brought up a couple of pots because I was gonna switch a few things, not too much, just to switch over to a bigger pot, because as you can see, some of them got nice and big, and they're just looking beautiful because of the rain and the outdoors. Y'all, outdoors makes your plant look so gorgeous, so beautiful when you put them outside. And this is just some of my plants. I have plants in my house that is very big, and that I didn't bring outside, that I did brought out last year, but Y'all, oh my goodness, these plants look so good. And this is what I noticed. I just noticed this, like literally, I try to pick it up and clean it out, and this is what I just see. Look at that. The root is coming out the bottom of this plant. This one here is root bound already. So some of them are gonna need some fresh soil. Some of them are gonna need to transplant. I didn't realize this, and I know that I don't have pots for all these things. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shift whatever I can shift. Oh, y'all, I have no idea what I'm gonna do here. Because I don't want them to struggle over the winter season inside. You know, during the winter, a lot of these plants really do stop growing. Like they sense the temperature. You hear me? So then they're inside. Although they're indoor plants, it's like they know that outside is cold, and they stop growing inside. They're like stunted, but they're still doing good. You know. But once it comes back outside and get that little bit of fresh air, it starts to bloom and look beautiful. And that's what's happening here, you know. Everything is looking so great, but the pots are too small. And when I planted them up earlier this spring, it had enough space to grow. Apparently it grew a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna change whatever I can change around. This kind of shifts my plans a little bit for today, but let's see how much I can get done. So this is all done. I feel like a lot of things got changed today. Um, Besides the plan that I had for today, because I really didn't plan on repotting anything today, but hey, sometimes things happen. So when I start over here, what I had to do, because this is also root bound, I just kind of raise it up out the pot, because you know when something is root bound, you could lift it out the pot without even worrying about how it's gonna, because the root comes out the pot. Well, you know what? I'm going to take that back, because sometimes it's root bound, it's coming out the pot, and it gets stuck. So in this case, it was the easier way. I could have just lifted up and it will come out. So what I did is lift it up, put a little bit more soil to the bottom, and then put back the plant in there, because I don't have the pots right now to transplant these couple. Okay, and this one was a little bad, but these two wasn't that bad. In fact, I was surprised to see this plant blooming, and it looks so gorgeous. That looks so pretty with the blooms on it. Anyway, I lifted up and I put a little bit more soil on it, and that was that. These I transplant, and I transplant them and put it in a little bigger pot, like it's like a step up from what it was in, and that's what it's in. But it looks so beautiful in the pots, like it's falling over this pot. Even this guy, look at this. Look at this plant. Look how it's blooming. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this plant bloomed. So when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, this looks so pretty. I already love the texture, the leaves. You know, it's like a 3-tone color. You got the lighter green, you got a darker green to the edge, and then you got like the purple leaf in the middle. I mean, this plant is all around beautiful. And then look at this, almost the same kind of texture, but different plants. And they just, oh, anyway. I think I have to give these plants their own day and just like let each of them shine and tell you the names of these plants and how I care for them. Over here, look at that. This one for sure I had to bump it up in like two pots up, because that already looked like it's gonna look so beautiful. And I know that when I take these plants in the house, whatever corner I put them in, oh baby, look at that. The snake plant, this guy had way too much water in it, and I know because the rainfall and wetted a couple of times, and these pots don't drain. Like I put them in the nursery pot, but when I sit them in these pots, this is the nursery pot, and when I sit them in these pots don't drain. It holds the water, so it kind of helps the plant throughout the week if I don't water them, which I kind of water them once a week. But if I don't water them, whatever drains in the pot kind of helps the root ball to stay saturated and good. Now some of these plants, like the snake plant, don't like a lot of water. This like maybe like 2 to 3 weeks. Because it's outdoor and the wind is blowing and stuff like that, it gets dry pretty fast. So I water it every week. But it had so much water, one of the leaves started to turn yellow, and I know that was too much water. So now when I water it, when I water in the rest of the plants, I'm not gonna water that plant. And that one goes for this one as well. This one is what is this, aloe vera, I think. And this guy is wet, but this one drains. And as you can see, the aloe vera looks so gorgeous, so beautiful. But what I noticed, well, first of all, I put this in a small pot because it was a small plant. Now it's gotten big. When I touch it like this, I could feel the roots of this plant. So I know I got to take it out of there. I didn't have the time to take it out right now, because I know I gotta be, it's gonna be really, really time consuming to kind of like cut it out of that little pot. I gotta cut the roots properly and then put it in a bigger pot. And I am gonna do that um before the winter or so, or before I take it inside. Let's just say that I'm gonna do that. You see how much talking I'm doing? I wanted to, I wanted to just video this and play some music behind it and just do what I needed to do and get it over with. But yeah, it is not happening, y'all. But I'm glad I got a chance to show you guys these plants, because maybe it's a little bit of encouragement with your house plants, the ones that you don't take outside. When you take them outside, it flourish even better. Y'all, they look really, really good. For every plant that I have, house plants, I only water them once a week. Once a week. I don't put more than that. The only plant that I find that I water twice a week is the lily and the ferns. But every other plant, yeah, once a week. Once a week, I allow the root ball to get a little dry before I drench them again with water. But gorgeous. Over here, now, these plants that was here was struggling a little bit, not too bad, because they were up there and I kept forgetting to go out there and put water. So sometimes we go out there at nights, but when we go out there at night, I'm not thinking about watering plant. I'm thinking about sitting down and relaxing with my glass of wine. And that's what happens. I go out there, I sit down, I'm like, oh, these plants need water, and then I totally forget about it by the time I consume a glass of wine. And that's what happens. Anyway, the ivy, the poultice, I believe. Anyway, you can see that is doing pretty good. This guy here, this has been struggling. A couple of the leaves, if you remember this plant from the beginning, it had a lot of leaves and it started to struggle, and I cut the leaves off. You can see the cutting right there. I cut it off and then it started to grow back, and I kept it. But I think what I need to do, not what I need to do, I am going to take it out this pot and put it in a different pot, because I need this pot for another plant that is thriving so good, and it's in one of my guest room. Another day I'm going to show you that, because I have to transplant it. There's two plants in my guest room that I have to transplant. This one, every year, the only time this plant thrives is when I bring it outside. When it's in the sun and all that, it thrives and it gets its full leaves and stuff. The minute I take it inside, all the leaves start to fall off. I don't know if it's not enough sunlight. I don't know what's going on with this plant, but every single time I take it inside, the leaves fall off and it leaves me with nothing. But what I try to do over the winter is keeping this part and the root alive, so that when I bring it back out, it's gonna look like this. And it is a beautiful plant. I just don't like the idea of the leaves falling off, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Every other part of the patio is still doing, like every other plant, I said part. Every other plant on the patio, those tropical plants over here is doing good too. These two guys are doing pretty good. These are my tropical plants over here. And the only thing I need to keep up with these guys is water, because they're in the sun and it dries out pretty fast. So I'm going to put some water on all these plants, all of them, before I continue on. I just love how everything looks though. Everything just looks nice. Now this raised box up here, I can't show you everything else and not show you the raised box. So I have green onions in here, and I've been cutting from it. Clearly you can see that I've been cutting a lot from it. Every time I cook, I cut, you know, and now I'm waiting for that to grow up, because I do have some back here that is thriving really good. And like I say, every time I cook, I cut, you know, as needed, and it grows up back. Like I cut it yesterday because I was cooking, or last night for that matter. And in 2 or 3 days, I'm going to have green onions again. Like it just shoots up really fast, especially when you get the rain. And because of the little cool weather at night, it comes up really fast. The basil, I am going to take the basil. I'm going to take a lot of the basil in, because I want to freeze dry basil. So, but I do have a big plant down in the garden, and I think I'm going to take that one first before I take this one, because this one is fine. Both is fine, but I think I'm gonna take the one down. I'm gonna show you. There's one right down there. I'm gonna take that one first because they're large plants, so that I can freeze dry it and have it in the house, you know, to last me. But this box is doing good as well. All right, I'm gonna water this really quick, and then I'm gonna move down to the other section. I feel really good cleaning up this area here. Just don't look at the hose right now. I gotta reel it back in, but I don't want to because I still gotta use it heavily. Like I have to wet a lot of stuff. So I did clean up these plants, like basically just pull out dead stuff. Clean up all the way down here. I cut back these plants just a little bit, just a little bit, nothing much. I didn't clip off of it. I could cut it all the way, like maybe halfway, and see if it'll flush back again, but I feel like the time is almost up for them, so why not just let them get wild and crazy. And besides, I kind of like the crazy look down there. These two pots, I cut them back I think 2 or 3 times, and they've been doing so good. Man, these pots look good. I remember the bunnies came through and they ate the sweet potato vine and stuff, and man, I cut it back a little bit and it just bunks back and looks so good. So I kind of like how this area look really full right now. Although we're stepping into fall, I would like to put some fall stuff, but if this looks like this, I wouldn't even worry about spending the money to put more fall plants, you know, especially moms that I know it's not gonna last that long. I clean up this area, kind of push back the stuff, give everything a good soak like this. I love the cleanness right now. Even the like when I step back here and just give you all here, clean it up with all these I had a lot of pots and stuff sitting there, of course, and I clean all that up. Now I'm gonna go over there because I'm gonna show you the little bit of sweet potato that I harvest. I almost wanted to laugh myself. So now that we're over here, so of course all the soil is in here, and this is still good soil that I can use to do other stuff. When I turn around here, this is the sweet potatoes that I got. Nothing much, and one would say, well, that's done nothing, I would throw that away, but hey, I'm not gonna throw that away. I can make some good baked sweet potato chips with that. So I'm gonna take it inside and wash it up and get me some chips. I'm not gonna throw that away. I grow that stuff, and I still consider that food, so I'm not throwing it away. I have 2 figs that I bought on clearance from Lowe's, and I gotta find places to plant them. I still don't know where I'm planting them, but we'll figure that part out. The elderberry, this is the elderberry plant. It's getting big and bigger, and I need to remove it from this area because this little, it's way too small to hold that. I really do need to put it in the ground. I still got to remove the cabbage and stuff like that, but guys, right now I am tired, so I think I did enough for this morning. It's probably, I don't even know the time. It's probably about 12 now, or a little after 12. I'm gonna go in and get some lunch because I haven't ate anything this morning. All I did was drink some coffee, and right now I feel like I am starving. So I'm gonna go in there one more look. I just love how it looks. It looks clean. Well, you know, if I reel that in, you can see right through, and it's gonna look even better. And I love how the zinnias just take over this area here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, guys, let me grab my stuff and get up there. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.